Good morning. It's Tuesday and I'm on super early because I have to make my bread today. And that takes a little while to set before I can bake it. So I have some appointments this morning and I'll bake it this afternoon while I'm doing some creative work. But I wanted to at least get on here because I didn't get to stream yesterday. And for those of you who haven't seen me before, my name is Farley. I'm a stress management consultant, previously a woman in technology working for companies like Apple, IBM, HPE, Micro Focus, Vertica, that sort of thing. Also combat veteran, diagnosed early last year with PTSD due to my traumas that I experienced while I was away overseas in Afghanistan. My girlfriend Heather and I have launched a podcast called People, Trauma, and Stress Discussed, where we talk about life in general and really the stressors that we deal with, in addition to how they can be amplified with PTSD. So be sure to check that out. We have some good stuff coming out this week. This episode this week was really great, and then we have a bonus episode coming out on Thursday. So really excited about that. But this is my side passion, because my side hustle is now my full-time hustle, right? Where I facilitate workshops to help promote stress management in the workplace and outside. And for this, I love to cook and I love to talk. And so this is my creative video blog that I've started on Twitch TV. And I post on YouTube. So we'll see what happens with it. Maybe nothing, but at least it's a really great way for me to practice my public speaking as well as do something that I absolutely love. And so today I'm doing my bread, which I think that I did actually last week as well. But it's my gut-friendly bread. It's grain-free because I don't do grains. I sometimes will have a cheat day. I'm not perfect, and I want to have things like if I'm traveling or whatever. But on the regular, I eat really clean if I can. I did a program called Stronger You for over a year, where I cut down. I got really lean to like 129 pounds. Which for me, I'm 5'10", like that's really, really lean. And now I'm 140 and it's my sweet spot and I want to stay that way, but I also want to gain some muscle. So I've noticed that even though I run a lot, carbohydrates don't fuel me and they don't feel good in my belly. So I cut out grains when I can, which is pretty much all the time. So, and then, but I had like a black and tan this weekend. So let's not judge. I do totally enjoy my beer sometimes. But so anywho. Today it's called grain-free bread. So I'm just gonna, for those of you that are joining me for the first time, I never share I share the full recipe, but I always tweak it. I never do exactly what the recipe says, because I love to cook and I love to imagine what the taste is going to be like for somebody. So I do this grain-free sandwich bread from Against All Grain. And so it never actually comes out looking like the photo. I just want to throw that out there. I'm probably doing something wrong. Oh wait, that's not the right one. But that does look like a really good one. I just don't have the cashew butter to do it. Grain-free. There it is. It's on Nom Nom. GNOM-GNOM. I'm getting there. So, does anybody remember what today is? It's Tuesday. You know what that means? Try it out Tuesday. So I'll share with you what I've already done today and how I'm continuing to try to push my limits today. I was having a conversation with someone last night, actually, that she was on our podcast. You'll get to hear her this week, but she made a really great point of the fact that if you continuously try to push your limits, you will continue to get comfortable. And so when you accept the now, right? That's a term I learned this morning. I actually listened to Eckhart Tolle talking to Oprah. But if you learn to embrace the now, you can then be comfortable with that, and that removes some stress with what you're dealing with today. And if you take one step forward, if you move into your comfort zone, if you grow out of your comfort zone, that's where the growth happens. That's where the self-love happens. And so, I'm like, this morning I was texting with my girlfriend Tanya, who we've been struggling because we've both been sort of on, I don't know if it's adult decoupling or what, but we've been sort of on paths where our lives are kind of shifting and we're not as close as we once were. But I love her and we've been through a lot together and I want to maintain that relationship. So we texted this morning. I wasn't going to go to CrossFit. I went to the YMCA instead, and instead of texting again, I called her and just was like, you know what? You can have this conversation over text and not have no balls, or I can call her and actually have the conversation. So that was my first step, and that was at 5 o'clock this morning because I'm absolutely crazy. But yeah. There's another thing I'm doing this afternoon, but I have to focus because I'm never going to get to this. Grain-free bread. How come I can't find this? I want to buy it. I want to make it. Oh, that seed bread looks really good. Oh, it's like keto, right? Because I don't do carbs. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's probably super lame. I mean, maybe you like actually watching me struggle with my phone right now. I found it, I think. Yeah. No. I should probably save it, right? You're all thinking I should just bookmark that shit because that's what I need to do. All right, I got to do my yeast, remember? Do you guys remember that? I got to do my whole, like, active yeast with the maple syrup thing. I have to proof the yeast, right? So I have to put... all right, I'm going to start running the water because you need, like, just the perfect temperature water. And then it's yeast, maple syrup, two teaspoons yeast, 2 teaspoons syrup, 120 milliliters of water to proof it. So, my co-host, Heather, that I was speaking of earlier, we are supposed to be getting tattoos. So we had said for our 10th episode, we are going to get tattoos of pineapples, right? To stand tall and wear your crown high, right? We believe that. And so, I couldn't do it at the 10th episode because I was running the Dopey Challenge, and Google that shit, it was intense. I'm still recovering, I think. But so, we've been planning it, and she reached out finally to find a tattoo artist for us, and we found one, I think, in Manchester, and so she invited me to go up there this afternoon. Now, mind you, I have nothing on my calendar, but I really have, like, a lot of work to do. Like, I have workshops I need to be writing, I have contract calls I need to be having, and so, you know, I was like, yeah, I can go up, I could totally go up there, like, 3, and then try to get back to my class I want to take this afternoon, because I do hot Pilates, and so, that's about right, and so, because you don't want to kill the yeast, so I have to let that actually cool off for a second, so, you know what, I'm actually going to cancel because my afternoon was free for a reason. I need to have these calls, I need to do this work, I need to make money. So doing a non-revenue generating activity this afternoon, spending money activity is not going to work. But maybe I could do it like tomorrow afternoon because I'll be up at my office in Bedford, but no chance I'm going to be doing that this afternoon. So, if I have anybody watching or listening that does graphic design, I would love a recommendation or reach out to me. I'm looking for some work done, but I'm definitely on a budget. And the quote that I got this morning is just a touch ridiculous. So I need a graphic designer. I need some work done. Basic business package. Basic business package. A couple custom things, but honestly, I could probably do them myself. I think I'm just being a little bit lazy. But I'm also like super willing to pay somebody to do it. I just don't have $2,500 for a basic package. So there's that. So if you're looking for $2,500, just don't call me. All right. So that needs to do things for like 7 minutes, right? But I have to get coffee first because that's the priority. I got a little bit of heavy cream in there. Makes all the difference. Okay. So I'm going to mix my flours while the yeast is proofing. But remember, I don't do the almond flour, right? What do? I do hazelnut flour. But I have to make some, so I'm sorry, it's going to be really loud. But that's okay. So I have to do 168 grams of almond flour. So I'm just going to measure out 168 grams-ish of hazelnuts. Oh my god, Brazil nuts, guys. Trader Joe's had some. The price was really great. I was really excited to get those today. Or last week. I feel like I haven't been to Trader Joe's in like a really long time. And I forgot. They don't have everything though, which is kind of why I never go there because I hate making more than one stop. Oh darn, a couple fell out. Have you guys ever tried these hazelnuts? They sell them at Costco for a really good price. Hazelnuts have actually have lesser fat than some of the other nuts, but they're still rich with, you know, vitamins and nutrients, and I definitely recommend them. Okay. I always throw an extra in there. I almost got coffee on my shirt. That would have been really sad. Oh, do you guys hear that? That's my washer. Well, that was just unnecessary. I'm doing some bedding, so I might just be a little lopsided right now. I'm gonna wash my sheets. I feel like it's been a while, and you should always wash your sheets, people, especially if you're like having sex in them. Please wash your sheets. All right. Close your ears, everybody. Put the volume down. I have to share this. Oh, I tried out Tuesday. My books came. Man Search for Meaning. Can't wait to read this. So excited to read it. Meditations, I hear, is pretty outstanding too. And then Trauma, PTSD, Grief, and Loss, the 10 Competencies. So this is going to be a lot of information that I'm going to leverage to help me develop some really effective exercises for my workshops. Because Dr. Eric Gentry, like I said, he just really encompasses what I believe in from a doctor's standpoint. And obviously, it really helps when you have a doctor like backing up the research to post, you know, for the work that you're trying to do with people. But yeah, so it was really cool. So I was actually, I'll tell you a little bit of story while I'm doing this. I think I can multitask right now. I do have a therapy appointment at 8:30, but I can do this. So I went to go buy office furniture for my office space yesterday, and you know when you're just meant to meet somebody? Like, I literally walked into this place, and there was this kid, like, sitting at a computer, but I just wanted to look around. I just wanted to get some ideas. And so used office furniture places are so cool to me. I mean, there's, like, new and used and, like, a combo, like, confluence of all things. I feel like it's me in a box, right? And so I made friends with this guy, Josh, who I was telling, like, what I do for work, and I think round tables would really work well for me, and you know, come to find out, we just have a lot in common, and, you know, he's experienced some loss in a really big way, and I think we were meant to connect. I mean, he hasn't really wanted to try therapy or anything like that, and you know what, I become friends with everybody. I mean, and he's a local guy. We're going to do a meetup in Starbucks in Manchester and just have some conversations with people, because connection's so super important. So maybe I should do that on a Tuesday, because then it'll be a try it out Tuesday thing, like today. But yeah, I really love knowing that I'm on the right path and knowing that I'm impacting lives in a positive way every day. I literally wake up every day. You've probably heard it before. I'm sure I've said it. I'm going to change one life today. I'm going to change the world one life at a time. So you never know what sort of like positive vibes or positivity you're bringing to someone's day. You never know somebody else's story. Like, I'm a big fan of that. And so if you actually go into every interaction with positive intent, it changes your entire outlook. I was listening to an interview today with Eckhart Tolle and Oprah, which I know sounds kind of weird, but he, you know, in his new book, they're going through the lessons of, like, you know, life and whatever. And there's a lot of spiritual stuff in there that you may or may not believe in. Just have faith. That's what I say. That's what, you know, Becca talked about last night on our podcast. But there's a disease in this world today, and it's known as unhappiness. Now, that is powerful. That is a choice, too. And so, like, hearing that this morning, I was very much like, you know, very much around, like, okay, so disease unhappiness is a disease. Why? Unhappiness and negativity. I gotta do this. 2, 3, 4. I don't use xanthan gum. I use more flax meal. Remember. Sorry, I'm losing my voice now. So, you know, in thinking about that, like, negativity breeds negativity, right? If you think about, like, you know, what is the misery loves company, right? That's like that quote. I think, like, you know, that's a really valid point. Misery does love company. I know that, like, people, I've talked to my podcast a couple weeks ago about how it's hard being that person. Like, I'm always that person that, like, tries to put the positive spin on something, and I don't mind doing that, but I know that my friends don't always like to hear that positive stuff because they want they want somebody to be miserable with them, and I just refuse to do that. But I'm also a firm believer in that, like, it's never going to be as bad as it was before. So if I go into that with that mindset, I know that I can take anything. So I can handle anything. When you stop giving a shit what people think, your life is much better. So, you know, I've done a lot of work to get to that point, and I still care, and I'm still super empathetic and whatever. So, like, let's be real. But, you know, you have to get to a certain point of personal, this closet is a mess, of personal self-growth in order for that to be achievable. So, you know, but I was thinking about this whole, like, unhappiness is a disease, right? Like, how profound is that? It's so true. I mean, it literally is a plague. And so, you know, I was talking to a friend, and I was sharing how, you know, we are exposed to so many things nowadays, right? So, like, yes, we are experiencing some pretty crazy shit in the world, no doubt, right? Does anybody remember learning about the Civil War in school? Because last I can remember, like, people in the United States were split, or people in America were split up and killing each other. There was slavery. Like, people owned people. We're definitely much better off than we were before. You know, if you listen to, like, some people speak about how they work to empower third world countries, like, we should be so grateful for what we have, that we have the ability to vote for a president, where there's countries, there's cities, there's towns that vote for elected officials, and there's, like, these shut off the internet, there's violence. It's, like, really scary. Like, we take for granted all of these absolutely amazing things that we were given in this life. And I think, you know, that we need to remember that, like, you know, we have gifts. And once you change your unhappiness to gratitude, life is completely different. I don't know, I just think that people would be a lot happier, obviously, if they spent their energy on, being happy rather than unhappy. Because either way, you're spending energy, right? You have to choose how you want to do that. So, okay, I'm putting in some cream of tartar. I think, like, this week, I think I'm going to put in, I'm actually going to put in some nutmeg as well as ginger, just to give it a little something, something. I've been toasting my bread now, just to get off of my bandwagon for a little while, because I do actually need to do this before I go. And it's amazing. So, like, it gets, like, a little, how do I describe it? It gets a little, like, it's not oily, but, like, savory. Savory is a really good word. Oh, I think I actually put cornstarch in here instead of baking powder. No, I wonder how that's going to taste. That was different. Where's my baking powder, guys? Hold on. Okay, I know I have baking powder. Oh. See, this is what happens. I went off on a tangent, and now I have cornstarch in my food. Oh, that's why it's not working. And I can't find my baking powder. I think it's MIA. Weird. Oh, is that it? It was right in front of my face. Holy cow. Alright, hold on. Let me focus. Okay, well, hopefully cornstarch isn't, I mean, I know it's like carbs and things, but I don't really care. It's a loaf of bread. So yeah, okay. Alright, I'm going to focus now. I'm going to focus now, people. Gotta get my egg. Yeah, I should have taken that out earlier. That's all good. 110 and 10 grams of egg whites, which again is supposed to be at room temperature, but why would I remember that? I went for coffee with a friend last week and I got a parking ticket. I need to pay that today. Alright, so egg whites. If I get that out now. Okay, so I've mixed. Oh, you know what? That's so funny. I haven't added coconut cream to my bread, and it actually came out better. Alright, I actually don't think I'm going to add. I don't have any. I completely forgot to add that last week, but I will add the apple cider vinegar. That's really interesting, and I actually like it better, so that worked out. So the recipe calls for coconut cream, and I forgot it last week. Didn't even scroll down far enough to notice it, or 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to not put it in, because I did, like I said, I really did like it, but I will add the apple cider vinegar, because that's important. Okay, so all my dry ingredients, I think, are together. All right, I just got to mix that all up. Calls for whisking. People just use a spoon and mix it. Just get it mixed. Just get it mixed. That's all you gotta do. Don't put cornstarch in it. Oh, okay. I gotta go in about 5 minutes. So this will be done by then. But anyway, so I recommend that everybody try something today. Do something a little bit different. Instead of sending that text message, give somebody a phone call. Really work to go out of your comfort zone, because that's where the healing, that's where the magic happens. Like, you know, when you are at the gym and like, or you read a blog and it's like when you work out, you need to like lift, and then when you get tired and you keep working, that's where the magic happens. That's life. Magic happens when you're tired in life. So just try it today. Make a phone call instead of a text message. Do something really simple. Do something that you normally wouldn't do, and just be happy. Cancel a meeting if you want to go for a walk. It was beautiful a couple Fridays ago. I canceled a meeting so that this way I could go running. I mean, just do it. Life's short, be happy, and just make a change today. Thanks a lot, you guys. I hope my bread comes out okay. I'll have to let you know. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.